What's more fucked up than people think? Not getting enough sleep. Your cells don't enter autophagy, your digestion worsens the next day, your aptitude is reduced, your cortisol levels spike, your emotions aren't as balanced, you are more likely to have a compromised immune system. In short, nothing works and you're more likely to get into accidents or make mistakes. Those YouTube families. Foster care. Senior living facilities. Dolphins. My brother-in-law. Guy's a complete douche. Social media. Exposing a child to a toxic relative. Forcing a kid to spend time with a horrible person just because they are related is abuse. Stop that shit. Kneeling on rice or frozen peas/corn as punishment. What Jeffrey Epstein did and how it was covered up so that the proverbial shit didn't hit the fan. Bridges. Half the bridges in America are in some stage of failure. It is a coming nightmare. More and more people every year are going to be injured and killed in collapsed. And we are doing basically nothing to fix them. Child beauty pageants. Depression. Mental health care. There's so many ice cold toxic stuff. Making fun of patients, laughing in your face, calling you names, threatening you with meds as punishment. Facebook. Killing someone and having to live with it. Bullfighting. The CIA. Cartels. Employers making you think you were put on this earth to work and not live. Drunk driving. Fuck the scumbags who do that. The growing wealth disparity. Most people don't know how much 1 billion is. It's a lot. College tuition vs wage of college students. Everything about duck's eggs. Politicians and lobbyists. People TikToking homeless people for clout. Yeah, you have the guy $50. Great. He will enjoy that, but it probably felt demeaning to receive it on camera. Overdraft fees. How the prices of your hospital services are calculated. You pay based on the non-payment of others. There is no cap. They are allowed to charge $74,928,473,929,474 for a goddamn band-aid, based on their current debt. The degree to which your economic prospects in life are determined by the family you are born into. They will often bristle when you say this, but the fact is that the vast majority of wealthy people have money because they were born into wealthy families. And likewise, the odds of somebody who is born into abject poverty finishing out their life having amassed any kind of substantial wealth are astronomically small, regardless of work ethic, or whatever else people speculate is the difference between the two. Almost everything you purchase. A majority of the goods we consume rely on exploitation. The few companies that do ethically produce products have to charge exorbitant prices and can't really compete with companies that do violate human rights. Impoverished people inadvertently have funded the exploitation of other impoverished people because they have no choice. Student loans. I've made on-time payments for 7 years, and one of my loans is paid minus 33%. Negative. Factory farming. Saying respect your elders to kids just because they disagree with you. It's basically used to say get in my way and bad things will happen, you little punk. The way people with invisible disabilities are treated. People. It actually baffles me how many people are just so shitty these days. No remorse, no empathy, just pure selfishness. I feel like the chance of coming across a genuine good person is like 1/100th, when it should be the other way round. Matadors, they nearly kill bulls. The reason the capes are red is not because the bulls don't like red, it's to hide blood. Declawing cats. Not many vets will casually do it anymore, but it's literally a crude amputation of a whole joint, not just the claw itself. Sending your dick pic to every female that you come across online. Making children hang out with people, even if they tell the person making them hang with the person who makes them uncomfortable that they are making them uncomfortable. The glorification of crime and hood culture. The porn industry. Sea World. Fuck that place. Social media and its disruption of identity development in young people. Shit shows you this impossible rose-tinted model of perfection because no one sees the full picture. Influencers post what makes them look good, and young people internalize that as normal. That they want to have that life, but that life is unattainable because it doesn't exist. Nobody lives in a world with just perfect laps and constant beach vacations, and it's normal to not live like that. Our identities are constructed socially. We do not want to become someone who we are not. We want to become somebody who fits into some niche of society. The problem is that social media shows us somebody that we cannot become and tells us that it's what we want, leaving our identities to come collapsing down on us when we fail to attain the impossible. The shit that goes on at the Amazon warehouses. Ghosting whilst in a relationship, it's manipulative and can do real psychological damage to the other person. The glorification of alcoholism in America. TV shows and movies present it as something cool, and as someone who has almost died a couple times and been through 5x treatments, I can say it is hell. Horse derbies. Where I work, sometimes we have to work the horse track. Very rarely, if a horse is injured, does it have a chance to recover. They are often put down right there. There's no romanticized version where the star horse is treated like family. Their star horse is hurt, they cut their losses and race its kid. The jockeys are often underpaid Hispanic immigrants who live in slums behind the track and live a very poor quality of life. Often places full of drugs and prostitution. Rich people only care about the money, not the animals. I dread working the track. Comparing mild inconveniences to the Holocaust or Jim Crow. The fact that we need child labor laws. Stalking someone online. Children's beauty pageants. My back, just cause I'm young doesn't mean I haven't fucked my shit up. Putting spikes in places so homeless people can't sleep there. Also, when law enforcement goes into tent towns to clear them out. The phrase cost of living. Cheating. It's frowned upon, but it really isn't taken as seriously as it should be. It can ruin minds, future relationships, and childhoods. It's one of those things that have a strange ripple effect. I don't know firsthand, but I'm guessing being at war is. Farmer. Hear me out, I know everyone knows how fucked up that whole business is, but honestly most people have no idea how insanely horrible it actually is. The labor shortage. There is no shortage of labor. Companies are posting these signs as an excuse to customers for longer wait times and poorer service. The reality is they refuse to hire enough staff in order to cut costs. When the current staff is burnt out, they have an applicant pool they can call back on. Been in retail 11 years. I've been on some conference calls that made my stomach turn, but this legitimately makes me mad. Congress. Even after exposing their asses insider trading during the biggest shift of money, they don't give a fuck about the people that elected them. Pelosi justified it because it's a free market. Child beauty pageants and gymnastics. The way those children are treated by adults. Sexualized by them, mistreated as though they are objects or communities. The 925. The American political system. Two-party democracy. Yay. Okay. Porn. Chinathy literally have concentration camps and we are having the Olympics there. People. Once you see and understand generational trauma, you can't unsee it. The current state and progressive downfall of society. The porn industry. The Silicon Valley startup culture. Making money at all costs has really done a number on how we as people view each other. Getting bad grades for not being able to memorize bullshit rather than get bad grades for not being smart. Being an adult and having to pay bills. Teaching children to call their genitals by cute names. No, it's not your cookie, it's your vagina. Forcing kids to hug adults or other kids when they don't want to, even if it's a relative. You're teaching your child that their consent is less important than social convention. Designer dogs. Breeders in general. Two-party political system. War people talk about how bad and sad it is, but they don't really talk about how fucked up modern war has gotten. Dating apps and OnlyFans. Both places are giant dumpster fires. How male sexual assault victims are treated. People don't take you seriously, they make fun of you, they ask how come you didn't enjoy it, they call you lucky. Religion. Not saying it applies to all, but I mean, exclusion policies, discrimination, control of life, wars, cults, etc. all because of belief. It's pretty fucked up. Having sex with people to boost your self-esteem. Advertising. It is literally corporations creating elaborate fantasies to make you feel insecure and buy their products. The hatred between people with differing political ideologies and the amount of dehumanization that occurs from both sides in an attempt to justify their anger. The treatment of your local retail worker. Someone can come in and literally talk to you in any type of way, and we are forced to take it, or be out of a job and on the streets. A good amount of us live paycheck to paycheck, and retail makes up about a good chunk of the economy. Incest porn. Wage slavery. Future generations will wonder how anyone tolerated it.